World Tricosmic.
Week 4, King of the Mountain Empire. We're at Belmont Lanes in Bristol. Stan, tell them who our competitors are today.
We got a couple of head-to-head matches. We've got all men in here today, and the first match is going to be Brian Guy bowling against Mike Cumbow, and then the second match will be Don Minnick Jr. against Robert Norton.
Well, got two that's not been on TV before, so see what that does to them, see if it makes them very nervous.
Should be a couple of interesting matches.
It should be. We'll be right back with the competition in just a minute. Started out. This is Brian's first time on TV. In fact, this is the first time he's tried to qualify for King of the Mountain Empire.
And he's bowling against Mike Cumbow, and Mike's become a regular pretty much. he's been here about every week.
He's making it a regular. Brian really pulled that shot. Brian's on bowling a little over, probably about a year. His father-in-law got him started bowling. And he starts out
with an open. Of course, he's got a little more handicap than his opponent does, so one open's not going to hurt him, but he can't afford a whole lot of them.
Yeah, Brian's got 60 pins a game. Mike's got 31. So, let's see. Oh, Mike threw that one right in there.
Yeah, that was a awful good shot.
I noticed he threw a couple of different balls during his warm-ups trying to get the reaction he was looking for. All right, he's got the spare.
Yep. He got 11 of those pins back. Got it down to about a 2-mark difference now.
That ball he used on his spare, he was using for a strike ball earlier today, I think, and he's looking for something with a little different reaction. Well, left the same pin, wasn't the same shot though. Mike bowls in this house all the time, so he's familiar with the lanes.
Yeah.
A little more comfortable up. He missed that one to the left.
Yeah, he raised up a little bit and pulled that one just
Didn't stay down on the shot.
Yep. Bowling in this center on a regular basis will probably give him just a little bit of an advantage. And especially since Brian's fairly new and may not know all the intricacies of how to adjust.
He got that in real wide. Got 4 pins on that one. Well, Brian, like I said, he's fairly new to the game, but he's not one of these that tries to hook it out of the house like a lot of new bowlers. He just
and really, the less boards you cover, you actually stay out of trouble. You know, the simpler you can keep your game, really the better off you are usually. He rolled that one pretty well.
And then he covered the spare.
Yeah, that was a nice pickup on that spare. I was talking to Brian just a little bit before the match started. He works for A&L Contractors over at the Eastman. And he wanted us to say hello to his wife, Karen, and his son, Noah, and his daughter, Abigail. And said hopefully he'll be coming home with the Bucks.
Yeah, he pulled another one. Left the 3 pin that time. Hear all the pins falling in the background. That's our reigning king over there. He's trying to warm up, get ready for whoever he's going to bowl.
Yeah,
Brian converts that spare.
Louis Marshall's over there tuning up a little bit. He's going to be the only lefty on TV today.
All right. Whoa, that ball just hung out just a little bit, and then we got that late finish, left to 210. Mike gets a pretty good ball reaction here. I think it's just working on his consistency of delivery and consistency of ball speed as far as that. But missed both of them.
He had a good go at it. Just got a little left of where he was aiming.
All right, we got a pin out in the gutter there. We've got the going after it.
Well, Dennis, I imagine it's the same way at your center as it is in Johnson City. Bowling's back in full swing now.
Yeah,
full
we've
tilt.
Got have all of our leagues fully started by tonight. We've got 2 leagues at Warpath starting tonight, and that should have all of them going. All right, here's Mike ready to go. Mike wanted to mention that he's got a stepson in Iraq right now, and thinks of him a lot, and he'd like all the people to remember him. All right, Mike comes back with a strike.
Yeah, he
changed balls.
Changed back to the ball he was using earlier.
Yeah, yeah. I think that ball goes a little bit straighter for him.
Yeah,
it must. It's because it's what he used shooting that 10-pin and stuff. So,
from what I was seeing during the competition, the back ends are fairly strong today, so you don't really want something that's going to.
Well, Brian pulled that one.
Hook on it.
Well, Brian's got a 40-pin lead now.
Got a nice, easy spare shot right in the middle of the lane. Just take his time and throw a good strike ball, and he should cover it all right. He really has good basic fundamentals for just having bowled no longer than he has.
He bowled quite a bit, practice, summer and all. Just he'd come in every day after work when he could and practice a lot. So he's worked at it.
And that's what you have to do if you want to get better. You gotta dedicate and practice. You can't just come out and bowl 3 games in the league every week and expect to improve a whole lot.
Well, pulled that one a bunch. That lane there, he's just really pulling it. Of course, he's pulling it all. I think he's used to playing a little bit more on the right part of the lane that gets a little bit of reaction here. If you're outside of the second arrow, you don't get any reaction at all. Pretty much you got to stay inside to get a good ball, get any kind of a ball reaction.
Yeah, I know.
Because most of the house bowlers, that's all they do, and
yeah, I noticed there was out of bounds. If you got it out, it sure wasn't going to get back. Saw a couple ugly leaves there where he just got the ball out just a little bit too much.
Well, you got a wall shot. There's a double.
Yeah, that's
there's what you're supposed to do in the game. Your opponent opens and you throw a double on him.
Take advantage of it.
Make up a lot of pins real quick.
Well, he was down 40 and he cut that about in half there in one frame.
Well, cut it more than half with the pin count that Brian lost there when he got that 4-pin count.
That's right.
He just got that. That put him in the lead, probably very close to it. That put him, he's 3 pins down. That ball seems to be working. I mean, he's carried all 3 of them been wall shots, I believe.
Yeah.
Hit that head pin thin and just carry it right off, and it works for him. Okay.
Yeah, he's having trouble finding the spot. He went Brooklyn a couple times. Came up light on that one, but
yeah,
he's still got time to get it together and
Oh, yeah.
win the match, but he needs to get lined up pretty soon.
Well, pulled that one way left, missed that and left.
Yeah. He can't afford many more of those.
No, he sure can't. Not with Mike getting it going. He's playing on that right side. He's just got to almost line it straight to whatever he's going for. That's why if it doesn't hook up, he has a tendency to pull it, and he missed that head being right. So I looked for him to. There's another one to the right.
Yeah.
You pull a couple of shots, and then you have a tendency to over-adjust if you're not getting any reaction like he's not. And then he just send them to the right too much. Well, that should have given Mike the lead then. Oh, went right back in the same place.
Yeah, he's having trouble getting his ball up to the head pin now. Before it was going left, like you said.
Well, like I said, he hadn't been bowling a little over a year, and his first time on TV, so. Well, Mike
broke that split down.
Yeah, he tried to make that adjustment for those 3 light hits, but it was carrying for him, so.
Yeah, this will be a good experience for Brian. I'm sure he's not. Today's probably the first day he's had any kind of head-to-head competition. He's probably mostly just league play.
League, and he's been bowling some Friday night tournament, the trio scramble.
Trio scramble.
Warpath. All right, Mike made the spare. So,
yeah, the
that
Key's
gives Mike
making
about a 19-pin lead.
Yeah, the Key's making those spares.
Well, threw that one right. No question about it, that one.
It only took him a couple frames to decide to change balls, and it was evidently a good move.
Well, Brian's going to have to get it going now. He's 20 down, and Mike isn't going to just give it to him.
Better.
No.
Well, he got the head pin, but he got too much of it.
He got too much. Well, he was Brooklyn there, went left there a couple of shots, and then he ended up getting too far to the right a couple of shots. Now he's right in the middle, so. Okay, and he gets one of those. That just about increases Mike's lead to about 30 pins with 2 frames to go. I would.
He's not mathematically out of it, but he's going to need some help from Mike. No. He's going to pull this one out.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to strike on this pitch right here, and then still get help from Mike. And he got that strike. 9th frame, basing it, set up at base to get out. He's still got a possible 215. You strike out.
Mike's going to have an open, at least one, maybe 2.
Well, got 9. If Brian was to strike out, he can force Mike to mark both frames. Just due to the pin count that's there. Mike was to make this and get something like 9 and a miss, he'd be at like 213. But he covered that spare. All right.
Well, Brian will know what he needs to do.
Or whether he even has a chance.
Right.
Mike strikes on this pitch, then it's looks pretty good. And he did.
That sealed it right there.
Yeah, if he can get one pin on 2 balls, and I don't think there should be a problem with that, the way he's been. We haven't had that happen yet.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities, though. It's happened before, hasn't it?
And then he got 7. So that made him the winner. Brian just finished up here in the 10th, and he's done all right for himself. He beat a lot of others.
Sure
We
has.
started out, we had 51 attempt to qualify for this thing, and he made it into the top 4, so he's got
Pretty good showing for first time out.
give Mike a 225 with his handicap. Well,
We've got a Brooklyn.
Brian got a Brooklyn. Maybe going to show him that it was a good thing he struck on that first ball.
Yeah. Sure was. He just had a couple tough spares there early in the match that he couldn't convert, and that's probably the difference in the scores. He looked much more relaxed the last 2 or 3 shots than he did the first part of the match. Maybe it's because he knew, he couldn't win, but he looked pretty comfortable those last 2.
Yeah, he gets some practice, and I mean, he's got a good approach. He's solid. He's solid at the line. He don't fall off. Does a lot of things right. So he's got the potential of improving his bowling. All right, we'll be right back with our next match in just a minute.
One of the great things about living in
Robert Norton.
Don Minnick Jr.
Don gets 37 pins handicap. Don was on TV the last time we were on from Warpath. This would be Robert's first time.
Yep. Yeah, Don was the higher qualifier. Robert got the last spot. That was a pretty good shot. 4-pin. He said he felt a little more comfortable today than he did last week. Last week being his
first time.
First time.
Yeah, well, new bowlers. Plus, this is the house he bowls at all the time.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
It does.
And he gives a bow to the crowd over there. I'd say he'll be the crowd favorite, being Roberts from Johnson City.
Johnson City. Be like the first match where they was all pulling for Mike.
Robert's
throwing the ball good. I watched him bowl this morning.
He's
got the best reaction of anybody I've seen as far as ball reaction.
He's one of the best bowlers in Johnson City. Definitely in the top 5, maybe in the top 3 average-wise. He's really consistently averaging in the 220s here the last year or 2. He got his PBA card a couple months ago and has gone to a couple regionals and found out it's a little bit different animal out there than it is.
It's not as easy as it looks. Well, but it will improve. It will improve your game.
Exactly.
If you learn from it, and you can learn a lot from it.
His high series in league play is at 824, and I fortunately wasn't bowling against him, but I was right beside him when he shot it. He was really on that day.
Got 9.
It came up just a hair light on that one.
In his warm-ups, the ball was hanging a little bit on 5 for him, but he was looked like he was getting it out just a little bit further, about the 40-foot mark, than where it needed to be. If he goes in just a little bit.
All right, so they're both clean after their first time up. See what Don does on first time on lane 6.
Don just plays pretty much straight down and in. He don't try to hook it a lot. And being as this is a house he's used to, he's going to be a little more relaxed and comfortable and keep it there. But through that one.
I was coming out of the parking lot over on Fort Henry Drive a couple of days ago, and this big brown truck honked the horn at me, and I looked in it, and it was him driving down the road. He's a delivery driver for UPS.
Well, got that now a little bit.
Just a hair light.
Left a 2-pin. Keeps it right there. He's not getting in any trouble. He's gonna.
Yeah, if he stays clean, Robert's gonna have to get a string.
He's gonna have to start throwing some strikes, and he's perfectly capable of it.
Yeah.
He gets lined up. He'll string some strikes. But I think the left lane is going to be his nemesis from what I'm watching him in the warm-ups and stuff. Oh. Kind of dropped that one. Let it sail to the right on him. Let's see if Robert can take an advantage of this.
Ten in the pit.
10 to the pit.
He looks really comfortable up there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got a really nice, smooth release and good fluid motion up to the foul line.
He doesn't try to force anything.
Right. Just gets the ball out there and lets the ball do the work.
Well, that was a good shot. Just come in just a touch light, but
the dreaded 10 pin.
All right. And he covered the spare. So there's 26 pins difference in them.
Don just needs to forget about that last one where he missed that easy spare and just get up there and throw another good shot. Nothing he can do about the one he's missed. He's just got to focus on what he needs to do from here on out.
Yeah, he's got that lane.
That was a nice comeback. Yeah, he struck both times on the right side, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's hit it good. See what he does on this one. This is.
Did we have any big scores during the qualifying today?
We had a couple of big games. I think Jim Postel started out with a 260 game, the very first one, and I think Ray McDonald shot it like a 260 his last game of qualifying, but come up 3 pins short of making the match play. There we go. Well, threw that one good, and that kicked that 10 right out bottom first.
Yep. That's a good comeback after missing that spare.
Missing that single pin to come back and throw 2 right in the pocket. See what
I'll
Robert
tell you,
can do.
Robert's pretty tough, and I think Don's going to need a little bit of a cushion going into those last 2 or 3 frames. Robert's not going to make many mistakes.
He stuck a little bit on that one.
Yeah. Robert's been working for Budweiser people for about 5 years. He's a route delivery man for them.
And he covers the spare.
He's a big-time fisherman. He loves to go fishing on the weekends.
Likes to fish. Well, if you want to bowl in this every week, you kind of forget about that fishing. Of course, when it gets real cold, you got to be more than just an avid fisherman. You got to be dead hooked on it to go out and.
You go any anymore?
Don't fish anymore. All right, he threw that one really well.
He threw that shot on the other frame.
Had a
good
good
too,
friend
but
that had a real nice catfish pond on his property, but he moved to Florida, and since he moved, I don't go fishing.
See if Don can make it 3 in a row on that right side.
Nope, let that one out there and
Hurt him when he let it go. He knew he got it out a little bit.
I just don't have the patience it takes for fishing. I can go and sit in a boat and be fishing. I don't even know whether there's any fish down there or not. I may be sitting there and there'd be no fish within a mile of where I'm fishing. So. I'm not much of a fisherman. Well, he didn't make that.
No, missed that head pin twice.
Well, he's give Robert a chance here to make up some ground.
Yep.
I about determined I wasn't much of a fisherman. When I was on tour, we was in Washington State out by Mount St. Helens. I was on the bridge there and looked down in the river, and you couldn't see the bottom for the trout. And they wasn't hungry. I could put a hook and all the bait in the world down there and couldn't get them to bite, and you couldn't even see the bottom. There's thousands of them. All right, see if Don can come back. Looked a better shot. I'll tell you what, it's good. Threw that one right in there. I mean, when he's hit the pocket solid, he's threw him in there. And the last week he had trouble. He was going Brooklands, and even I saw him in a couple of his matches earlier. But he's settled down and keeping the ball in play.
He's got strikes in 4 out of the 7 frames, but those 2 opens have negated.
You got to make them spares. See how Robert. Yeah.
Oh, he got a good break.
It looked like Robert tried to jump on that one a little bit. He seemed to hare more speed and looked like he hit up on it a little bit harder. Caused it to take off, or he pulled it.
He got a really good break there, tripping that 610 out.
All right, covered the spare.
Yeah, if he'd got one there, it would have tightened things up considerably.
Yeah. No, if
he's
he can
still down a
strike
couple marks.
Yeah, he's down 23 pins, so.
Anything can happen in 3 frames.
He needs a strike right here, because this is. He threw that one good.
He's getting a pretty good applause back there, considering he's the out-of-towner.
Out-of-towner, yep. Oh, there's a few Johnson City bowlers still here. They're back there.
I think they're all just appreciative of seeing some good bowling. Now, this is Don's better lane, even though he threw a bad shot last time over here. He's overall rolled better on the right-hand lane.
And he threw that one right in there.
Yeah, that was big.
That was a big strike. If he ends up winning this match, we're going to have two locals going at it again.
Yeah.
To see who bowls the other.
Willie's been strutting his stuff around here. We're going to have to encourage people at the other two houses to get out here and break this
monopoly.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, they've come and they've tried. Well, got that one out.
I think
that's a rocking it.
I think that's what you were talking about earlier. If you get it out there, just outside that second arrow, you're going to have trouble getting a reaction with the ball. It's just going to skid too much. I think that's exactly what happened there.
Well, that's got his 27 pins difference right now.
Now, he missed a variation of this spare last time he shot at it and went wide left.
See what kind of an adjustment he makes on it.
Right.
He's taking his time.
He uses the same routine every time.
See Mr. Grable there in the background. All right, he covered that
well. Yeah, Larry's back in town. He was out. Well, you bowled with him one tournament out there.
One tournament in Florida, right?
He's been on the road a little bit, and he's back in town aggravating everybody now, so everything's back to normal.
Okay, Robert, he's got to have this strike. He just stays smooth through it and don't try to overhit it. That looked better.
Like a good
shot. Better. And it resulted in a better shot.
He needed it, too.
Well, he was a little bit smooth. I think that last shot on that lane, he just got a little bit fast with it and hit up on it. That made it grab and hook hard on the back end. Like you said, he got the good break. So now's his shot. But he's hit this lane the last two shots.
This is a big ball here.
Big ball.
See, if he strikes out, he'll force Don to get a double in the 10th frame. He definitely needs this one.
Do it pretty good. And he
did.
got it. From where we're sitting, I can watch his execution and tell whether it's good or not, but I just cannot tell whether he's got the ball right on his target or not. But his execution looked good.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of an extreme angle today. It's hard to tell because we're a little over to the side more than we usually are.
He just needs to stay smooth and right through this shot the same way and not try to jump on it. Looked like he did.
He got
it out. Just got it. Ooh, and that pin count made a big difference.
Yeah, it did. I think Don can get a mark now and probably
yeah, but he's got to make this.
Yeah, he needs all three of them, doesn't
he? Yeah, he needs all three of them to. Then he can force Don to mark.
Yeah, he covers it. He knew if he'd got that one, he'd have been in pretty good shape.
Give him a 213.
Yep. A good count and a mark and another good count, and Don will be the winner. But he has to have a mark here.
He's got to have a mark. Well, they say trust is a must or your game is a bust, and Robert trusted that one, but this is not the condition to trust it that much.
Nope.
He's got to make a good shot. It's just not a
good shot.
You don't want to leave a multi-pin spare down there because they can be tough.
It looked pretty good.
Ooh,
we got a good break.
It's right through the nose.
If he picks this up, he should be.
Yeah, but this is not. This is not an easy spare.
You can very easily chop that 6 right off the 10.
Well, he
with
throws
the way it is. It may go in the gut in the channel.
Well, he throws a straight ball at it, but you know how straight he'll be. He had trouble with his spare last week.
He just needs to relax and just do what he always does, repetition.
No, he got it. He knew he had to have it.
Let it go. missing that single pin earlier in the match just about came back to haunt him, didn't
Just
it?
about. Sure did. You got to have 3 pins on this first ball. And he got 3.
Yeah, I
He
think he
just
just
stood-
wanted to
just
go down the
aimed
middle
ahead
and make
pin.
sure he got a good count.
Yeah.
That was
221 to 213.
That was a good match
Good
right
match. All right, folks, we'll be back with a match between Don and Mike Cumbow in just a minute.
At Easterly Coleman Furniture.
Match between Don Minnick and Mike Cumbow.
This is a rematch of one of our earlier telecasts. Might have been the one at your place a couple of weeks ago. They bowled head-to-head. I remember telling that both of them work UPS. It's kind of a friendly rivalry thing. So we'll see how it goes today. I think Don got the better of it last time.
If he throws many shots like that, he's going to have the better of this one, too.
I was looking at the handicaps. They're comparable.
Very
I don't think
comparable.
there's much difference in them.
Don
One of them
gets
has 31.
Don gets 37.
Right.
Mike gets 31. 6-pin difference. So, you know, it's like you said, very, very close type. Should be a close match. Mike starts out split.
Yeah, Don had the choice on what to do. I'm surprised. Well, no, I think he did make a good choice because he'll be finishing on his good lane.
On his right lane.
He bowled on that right lane. That was the best one.
And Mike made that split. Textbook spare. Bowling league Thursday night, my wife left that. She threw down through there, and she knew she had it made. Made that little bit of turn on the back end. She went right between them. Didn't get either one of them.
Went in between them?
Went in between them. Didn't get
That's
either one.
hard to do.
Well, I've seen it done a lot. Well, he got that one out. A little over adjustment. I've seen a lot of bowlers do it. I told her she'd finally done something in bowling I've never done. In all the years I've been bowling, I've never gone between them.
You haven't?
Nope.
When we get out practicing sometimes and leave a 1, 2, 4, 7, 10 with that little hole there, we'll mess around and try and throw another one in the same spot.
With a 6-pin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've done that several times. In fact, one time I did it, threw right back down through there and went right back in there again and didn't get it, and turned around and told somebody that I bet I could do it again. They told me they'd give me everything in their wallet if I did, and I threw down there. I went right back through there again, but I never did see their wallet. They ran. 3 shots in a row.
That's pretty accurate, but that's really tough to do.
It's more luck, I think, than accuracy at the time.
No,
All right.
I disagree.
Well, Don pulled that one. He got 9 out of it. He said he was unbelievably nervous trying to shoot that 610 there in the 10th frame. He said the other night in league, he just got so where he missed about 8 of those during the league, I think, and he couldn't make one. And so he was really nervous about shooting it.
And that's a good thing about doing this. The more he does it under these type of conditions, it'll make it easier when he gets in the league. You know,
Exactly.
You know, get more experience at it and
More comfortable doing it.
Exactly.
All right.
So I'm sure there's a whole lot less pressure on him during the league than there is right now.
Yeah. And he won't be as nervous the next time he has to shoot it in that pressure situation.
Right.
He may be nervous, but not as nervous. All right. And he got that little wall shot.
Yeah.
That's what Mike lived off of his first match. Got him there. Now Don's throwing it. See if Mike can get something going. Nope. Come
Just
up a little
hair
light.
light.
You're going to have to get up just a little more than that to get that wall shot to carrying for him like he had in his first match.
That particular spare for me is one of my least favorite ones to shoot. I have a tendency to chop that one quite a bit. I still haven't figured out the right way to go about it.
He made it on the left side.
He's lost a little bit in pin count.
Yeah, he's
about
11
half
pins.
a mark.
He's 11 pins down now.
But they're staying clean.
Yeah, Mike had 2 opens by this time in his first match, so he's improving. Got that same shot again.
Same shot, same result. I see he's lost almost a whole mark just on those three shots there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, you got that way right and only got 2, but he got the 2 hardest ones.
Yep.
See what Don can do here now.
Well, this was his good lane last match.
Yeah, he's on a strike. Mike opening, he could really do some damage as far as getting a lead. Well, no, he's handing it right back to him.
Yeah, now what he wants to do on this one is get those 2 pins, make sure he gets those 2 over there.
Yeah, sure does.
Don't try and make this one and throw it in the gutter and lose all your count, because it's virtually, well, it's probably the second hardest split to make when you think, besides the 7-10.
Yeah, it's right up there. The odds are so great that you just
shoot your 2 pins, which he did.
That's all he tried to do.
That's all he could do on that one. He didn't lose any ground. He actually picked up a couple pins.
He's 13 ahead now. So. Well, that one's out there.
Yep.
This is a tough spare.
Fortunately, he was on an open, so
pin count didn't count
real bad.
But
this is a hard spare to make.
That 7 pin sitting down there, that open space between the 2 there, it makes it got to get that ball to run right down through there, or just hope that the 2 kicks into the 7. No. Well, he almost made a bad shot and almost got away with it.
On that one there, do you normally shoot to the right of the head pin and try and take it out, or go Brooklyn?
Try to go Brooklyn and hook that ball right down through there. Actually, try to hit
all 3 pins out.
Yeah, try to hit the head pin thin even, so it deflect on down and the ball will take that 7 out. Well, Mike went from 2 light hits to right through the nose.
Well, there's still.
He can get this down to about a 2-pin match if he can make a spare. Ooh, boy. He made it. Just barely. A little bit of difference in that is on that he's getting the ball. He got the ball out on the lane on that shot, and on most of his shots he just
setting it down.
He's releasing it right down into the lane, and that's why he doesn't get a lot of lift on the ball. That's where you hear it kind of bounce. It just, all right.
It worked.
Made it a 2-pin match.
Kind of kills the roll a little bit when you do that.
Yeah, that's why he's got to adjust balls. And a ball, he'll try to throw one, and it may grab so quick because he does get it down in the lane. And
Don needs to do something here. He's had a couple opens. He needs to come back with a good shot.
I believe he made a better one there. Oh, made a really good shot. Just didn't carry, but
he needs to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good shot. That was just one of those breaks that happens in the game of bowling.
Let's see what he does here on the spare. He's using his strike ball instead of using his spare ball on it. But he got it. Got it. In a round of 16, Troy Hauser was our high qualifier. I think he had like 708 with his handicap qualifying, and but he lost in the very first round. Mike Cumbow, who's bowling now, he was just barely made it in, and Mike just beat him in the first round. And then some other matches, Nathan Hilton, he beat Tim Mumpower. And Brian Guy, who was on earlier, he beat Phil Parsons. And Oscar Doss beat Steve Norton.
There's
all right,
shot.
Don threw that one right back. Same play.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's good about this format is once you get into the top 16, it's a clean slate.
That's right.
So even if you're 16th, you have just as good a chance as
Yeah.
being the top qualifier because the slate's clean and everybody goes back from scratch.
Yeah. All right. Wow, Mike threw that one way Brooklyn, but he got away with it. It carried for the strike. Give him a big double. I give him the lead.
Gave him a lead, didn't it?
Give him a lead. Give him about an 8-pin lead.
Yeah, just like Don left that 8-pin, had that bad break. You get some good breaks too. You know, they kind of even out.
Yeah.
It seems like there's more of the bad breaks though, but
you remember them. Wow, he threw another. Wow.
Tried it again.
That was even further Brooklyn. And carried the wall shot from the left side. He'd carried the wall shots on the right side his first match.
Yeah, he's put the heat on his buddy now.
Yeah, well, Mike's wife, Peggy Cumbow, she made match play, but she got beat first round by Robert Norton.
Yeah, Robert bowled pretty good today. He probably had about as good a shot as anybody, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He had a good ball reaction. Wendell White made it, but he beat Darrell Pruitt the first match. Well, Don threw that one right through the nose. Got 8. He's definitely in trouble right now. He's got to make this spare. He's got to strike in the 9th, I'm sure.
Don beat Harold Googe 225 to 196. Mm-hmm. And then Jim Postel beat Randy Neeb 225 to 170.
Two of the Kingsport bowlers that made it, and then they had to bowl each other. Ooh, man, that was close.
I think the wind knocked that one over.
I believe it did.
But he got it.
It fell. That's all that mattered.
That's all that matters.
He was relieved, but I think he needs a strike here.
Yeah, he's got to get going.
Yeah. Mike's second in the top, round of 8 in match play. Mike then beat Nathan Hilton, and Brian Guy beat Oscar Doss. Robert bowled Wendell White and beat him to make it to the TV show, and Don beat Jim Postel. So, well, I think Don thought he'd try Mike. He saw.
Yep.
He saw it work.
If it works for one, might as well work for the other.
Well, they're both house bowlers, so he figured it'd treat them both the same.
Yep.
Well, that's what he needed. He needed to set that 9th frame up.
We're down to crunch time now.
Let Mike know that he's not going away.
Got it out. And it came back. When he set that one down, I thought he got it out a little bit too far, but
couldn't throw it any better than that.
That was a great shot.
Mike decided he wasn't going to press his luck anymore. And that gave him about a 28-pin lead.
Yeah. This one here will put the nail in the coffin, won't it?
This would pretty much do it. Yeah, well, Don can get out for 234, but yeah, this would. Well, threw it through the nose. I'll tell you what, they're gonna have.
He was flirting with the split.
He needs to make this.
He was flirting with the big split. This one here's, yeah.
If he don't make this, he'll be 226 or 228, depending on how many of them he gets, and Don can get 234. So make it exciting, and he got one of them. Yep, looked like he had it out there. So 219 gives him a 228. Don's got to throw 2 strikes. First strike isn't enough.
I think I just heard him say he couldn't catch him. I hope he didn't miscalculate. What he needs to do is get up there and just do what he knows
I
to
think
do.
he knows. He's taking his time. He's taking his time. I believe he knows what he's got to do. No, he left the same thing Mike did. So that makes Mike Cumbow the winner. So Mike's going to be bowling Louis.
Well, Mike's paying him back for the week before last.
Week
before last, Don knocked Mike out.
Yeah, so...
we'll see, now they don't have bragging rights. They can go back to work next week and be happy.
Well, he did the same thing Louis. He got 202. So it's 202 to 228. So Mike will be bowling Louis here in just a minute, folks, and we'll be right back with our title match. Mike's going to start it out. Louis had the choice, and he said he wanted to finish first, hopefully to put the pressure on Mike when it come down to the 10th frame. A little light, 2-7 split.
For a right-hander, that one's a little bit easier than the one going the other way because of the way the ball will be moving. It'll go into the 7-pin instead of away from it.
Yeah, got a little
like
more
it does on the
deflection.
10-pin.
Yeah, got a little more deflection angle. But you got to hit it first, right,
Yep.
Stan?
That's it. What's fun back here, sitting back here talking about everybody and not having to get up there and do it.
Do it.
I really enjoyed it.
Well, there's Louis. Ooh, there's the big one. Another split. 2 bowlers are going to try to give it to each other here to start with.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't even close to getting one of those.
Yeah, well, that was his first shot, and he might have just got a little fast there. I think ball speed might have been up just a little bit, and he didn't give it time to react and get to the head pin.
Well, got away with that one.
Yep.
That one on the Brooklyn side, and it carried for him. All right.
That was a nice shot.
That's the shot Mike's been looking for right there.
Louis shooting with a 40-pin handicap, and Mike has 31 pins, so we've got a 9-pin differential. Most of the matches today, except for the one with Brian Guy, have been relatively close. No, Robert and Don Minnick was off.
That was
3 or 4 marks.
Pretty good shot there, looked like.
Yeah, it's 2 good shots.
Well, that got us back about a 1-pin, 2-pin match. Louis getting up on the wrong lane. He's really, he figured he struck over there. He was going to get a double.
Yeah.
Went from light to through the nose. So
Next week we'll be back in Johnson City at Holiday Lanes. If any of you league bowlers are interested, go to either Warpath Lanes in Kingsport or Holiday Lanes in Johnson City, or come over here to Belmont and qualify this week and give it a try. We'd be glad to have you come out.
Oh,
Have some
boy.
good faces.
That one just did hang on, and
Almost went in the channel, didn't it?
it
Or
did.
got
It
over
looked
that-
like it
go
was
over that
hanging
way?
right on the edge, and once it got a grip on the back end, it hooked back with his
Yep.
slow ball speed. It can hook back pretty good for him. So, but you know, last 2 weeks he's been on TV. He's had a couple of his first balls that almost went there. So, okay, that one was where he was looking to get it. Got it out there, come in thin, and mixed them up pretty good. Pull that, kick the 10 out. Okay.
Got a one-pin match.
One pin match, sure is. Provided
provided he makes the spare.
spare, and then it's a difference in the count ball on the next one because Louis is on a strike.
Just from observation, Mike looks a little more solid. But he's been bowling a lot more than Louis has today. Louis will get in a little rhythm here. It may just take him a couple shots.
Yeah. Mike's been on TV a bunch, but he still's got to go home every night and probably listen to his wife tell him, "Well, I've been, I've won it. You know, when are you going to?" So he keeps getting on TV. He's gonna win it. Yeah,
Looked like he raised up a little bit on that
Pulled
one.
out.
Came across a little bit. Still fairly easy spare. For all you folks that enjoy watching bowling, the PBA will be coming back on the air pretty soon too. The national tour will be starting to be televised on.
Yeah, that's what makes that spare so tough for a right-hander. You get playing that strike line, that ball wants to go down there and make that little hook like you're throwing it, and it just picks that one right off. Yeah, I think the first tournament is the Masters they're bowling in Milwaukee.
I think ESPN's going to pick them up.
Well,
There's a good shot.
Louis took
That's
advantage
what you
of.
want to do when your opponent throws an open like that. You come back and throw a good shot and say, "Hey, don't forget I'm over here."
Yeah. Jump on him.
That was a double.
Yeah, the ABC Masters will be the first tournament, and they're going to bowl it. The televised finals is going to be in the stadium.
Are you going to go bowl in it?
No,
Haven't decided
no,
yet?
I can't keep up with those young guys. I can't bowl that many games for one thing. That's a long format, and I'm not in shape for that many games.
I don't know. You went out there, bowled a few of those senior national stops, and showed off a little bit. You never can tell.
But they're setting. Brunswick is going to set some lanes up in the stadium where the Milwaukee plays baseball, and going to have it televised from there. All right, he got an open through that and through the nose, got the split, and come back with an open. But he had the double, so he's increased his lead.
Mike throws a double and we'll get right back to just about even.
Yeah. Oh, he got that. Six just reached over and give that 10 a little love tap, just enough to topple it out. What do you need? Now we're about 8 pins. So it's a seesaw battle. Looks a pretty good shot. Well, I'd say it was a pretty good shot.
I'd say.
Well, that gave him the lead back, 2-pin lead. He's going to be like 146 in the sixth to Louis' 144. Just
See if
depend
he-
on Mike's pin count on his first ball. And
Right. The 8 count will have a tie. See what Louis can come up with here.
see what Louis does under the pressure here.
That one didn't look too bad. He nailed it.
He nailed it. Did exactly what he needed to do. Big shot. He gets a strike on this. He's just going to throw it right back on Mike.
Yep. Looked pretty good.
I think he was a little
Did it come in light?
soft or a little straight through the heads with it. I don't know. Probably pulled it. Took off. I know that.
Uh-oh. Well, he was shaking his hand like he lost it, but he lost it in the right spot. It came back.
Yeah, it just rolled it up. It sounded like it was rolling on the thumb hole there on the back end of the lane. I don't know.
Mike can get a little distance here with another one.
I believe he threw that one all right. Yep. I'd say.
That's 3 good shots now
He's-
when he really needed them.
Yeah. Now he's opening up the lead. That's give him like a 12
pins.
pin. Yeah. He gets this one in the 9th. He's really,
Take control.
yeah. This 9th frame is always a key frame, especially in heads-up match play like this. Looks good. Oh, just a little high, but sure he'll take that. Gives him an 11-pin lead. He's 175 in the 7th to Louis' 164. And
Well, Louis got what he wanted. He wanted to finish first and let Mike see what he needs to do. So
well,
he'll have to step up to the plate here.
trouble is he's finishing first, but he's behind. So he's
With
going to
11 pins.
11 pins, but he can take the lead. I mean, he throws a few strikes here. He's got to have 2 strikes to put the pressure on Mike, but he's got to have all 3 of them. That's not what he needed.
No.
He's down by 13.
He definitely needs to pick this spare up.
And he didn't do it.
Uh-oh.
He just flips it out there, and it just kind of laid there. Never did get the grip. So that pretty much did it right there, because even if he'd have made the spare and threw 2 strikes, all Mike needed was a mark in the 10th, because all he can get right now is 221, and Mike just needs like 8 pins in 1, so he doesn't even need that now. All he can go for, he can make this and get strike for 211.
Mike will have that with just a good count.
Yeah, well, yeah. He don't even need a good count.
All right.
3 pins. 3 pins is all he needs on his first ball. If he goes 3 and 3 out, he could possibly tie if Louis strikes on this pitch. Mike gets anything,
Just
any
keep the
pin
ball
count
in play.
any pin count above 3, and he's got a sure winner. And he struck, so for 211. So
Well, Mike will have his turn at bragging rights for a week at home now.
So he will. He gets 3 pins on the first ball. He's pretty much assured, and I'm sure he's going to get that many. That's all he needs right there. threw it good. They're clapping for our new king of the Mountain Empire, but I'm sure Mike Luck could convert this and fill it up for a 10-pin count and give him a 234, but they're already laughing at him in the background. He's smiling from ear to ear, so I guess he doesn't care. And that give him a 223. Elbow to like Don Carter. I don't think he ever watched Carter bowl though to copy him, but one of the all-time greats.
He was the real deal, that's for sure. Much better. Gave that one room and just rolled right in there, set up nice.
He stayed real smooth with it. He stroked through the ball.
He stayed down, and from the time he addressed the ball until he released it, it was just like one nice fluid motion. It wasn't herky-jerky, just nice and smooth, just kind of glided into the shot.
See what he can do on this lane. I don't know. They all seem to be going high. I don't know whether 5's hooking more than 6 or they just. Look better. Yeah, he got the results.
Yeah, that whatever was two really good shots.
Whatever adjustment he made, it worked. All right, see what Kevin does. And he threw an excellent shot on this lane the last time. Nope, right through the nose.
Yeah, he's going to need to move left a little bit, or maybe move up on the approach a little bit, or increase his ball speed. There's a few things you can do when you keep coming up high all the time. The easiest thing to do is move a little bit.
He does things just like a lot of bowlers do today. I don't know whether we can get it in a slow motion shot, but when you see him set up, he's got the wrist cupped, and he bends his elbow trying to get extra on it. But if you see him at his release, his wrist is bent backwards. So he starts out in one place with a cup and goes to the broken back wrist, which actually does him no good.
Tripped out the 4-7 with that high shot there.
Yeah, he's got it rolling, and he should just start with the ball in that position, because whenever you move your wrist, you got that much travel and movement in it, you're not going to get it the same place every time. But a lot of bowlers, and it's because they've never watched themselves bowl on TV and stuff or on film, they think they still got it cupped when they throw it.
Right, especially a lot of the young guys now, they do that.
Well, through.
He got that one out a little bit further, but it reacted a little bit better and ended up with a turkey. That's 3 right in the pocket. Don wanted me to mention to you folks that he'd like to dedicate this match to his uncle Tommy and his mama passed away last year. He's on his little sheet here, he had mention of all of his family. You can tell he's a big family guy, but he wanted to let us know that he's dedicating this to them.
Well, he's got a 12-pin lead right now. And
that looks
he looks
pretty
like
good
a
too.
Good shot there.
Yeah.
He's got it lined up now.
Yeah, it may just been jitters those first 2 frames.
First 2.
Last 4 shots have been excellent.
Let's give him like a 22-pin lead. Kevin's going to get something going. Uh-oh, that one's gone, Brooklyn.
He just about got a lucky break there.
Yeah,
he could have used that one.
Yeah, he jerked up on that one. That one was going left when it come off his hand. It was
and he picks up a 7-pin.
See, he put that one out to the right and let it hook back. That last shot, he's just trying to throw it to the pocket. He didn't even give it a chance to go right.
Yeah, it just didn't give it any room at all.
That
was
one he
much
did.
better.
That one he gives some room anyway. He got 9.
Yeah. That 2-pin had fallen
Just a little bit different angle.
sideways instead of straight back.
Straight
He'd
back.
have had him good in there.
Of course, you got to be thankful that you got that light of a hit.
Yeah, 9
You've only got a
shot was excellent.
single pin spare to shoot at. And he covers a spare. Covers a spare, keeps him right in the game.
Yeah, Don can put the hammer down a couple of strikes here, and he'll be pretty hard to catch.
Well, he's got a 20-some pin lead, and every time he strikes, right now he's increasing it by 10.
No.
Oh man, got that one. It
got
come
close
back.
to the channel.
Yeah, it got out there, and it about rolled out. Got the 5 out. And almost left it. 7-10. Which we'd have had a whole new match if that had stood up there.
Now let's watch and see how he shoots this spare. See what kind of adjustment he makes in his release, and then
He went right straight at it the last time when he was shooting that 6-4-6. He covered it right on the money. All right. It's a 22-pin lead he's got right now. Got 3 frames to go.
Y'all will notice he used a different ball to shoot that spare. He's got a hard surface that won't react, so he can cut down on the reaction when you're shooting your cross lane spares like that. Now he's back to his regular strike ball. That's another good looking shot.
Oh.
It's a little bit high. When he laid it down, it looked like it was going to be another strike, but he got 9 and a wiggle. I guess you've been busy the last few days here at the center. It's that time of the year, isn't it?
It's that time of year trying to get the leagues started back up.
Yeah, we'd like to encourage any of you that are viewing that haven't ever bowled in a league before. Come out to your local bowling center.
And he
Here at Warpath in Kingsport, or Belmont and Bristol, or Holiday Lanes in Johnson City. They have leagues for all types. They have mixed leagues, leagues for the women, men's leagues. They have leagues that your children can get in. It's a good family sport. Just come on out and sign up. We'd be glad to get you going.
Nope, Kevin jerked that one, just like he did the last one.
Yeah.
Actually jerked that one a little more, and that's why I hadn't carried.
Yeah, got just over across the head pin just enough.
Got to relax and roll the ball and give the ball a chance. You cannot throw the ball to the pocket. You've got to roll it at your target.
I'd say he'll get this one out a little bit more.
He did.
That was a great shot.
Okay.
He needed it too.
He did.
Yeah, that was just about
21,
a
that
shot
got it-
almost, wasn't
Got
it?
it to 11 pins. Well, especially that's a 9th frame, so that sets him up for the 10th there, and which is a critical. It's your foundation frame, they call it, for getting the game out with a good score.
Yeah, if I'm looking at it right, he can actually close Don out if he strikes out, can he?
No, not if Don. Don can go 263.
Oh, I
Kevin
thought it
can
was
go
two.
two.
Oh,
He can go
okay.
for a 252. Oh, he threw that one. Now he can't. Well,
Be a tie match.
we could have a tie match. Yeah. Don spares and strikes out. Kevin strikes out. We'll have a tie match.
On this 5-pin here, all he needs to do is just throw his regular strike shot. That's the ideal way. And if you're trying to get lined up and you're not sure where your ball should go for a strike, this is a good spare. You can make a little adjustment and see how your ball's going to react.
You got it.
You got it.
I think he thought he threw it a little further to the right, but he was close to where he was striking there. It wasn't that far off.
That's right in the general area where he threw that real strong 4-bagger earlier in the match. 10-pin difference?
It is 10 pins. First ball in the 10th. He needs a strike right here to kind of apply some pressure on Kevin. I mean, the pressure's already on Kevin, but if he strikes here, he almost forced Kevin to throw 2 of them. Got it out. Threw it good.
Nicely done.
Looks like that puts him at least a 240. Starting out with 2 opens, I'm sure he's tickled to death to have that kind of score already.
So if they both strike out, we've got a tie 252.
We have a tie at 252.
Is that right?
That is. Big shot here. This is a big shot.
He rolled it well.
Good. Well,
yeah, that was definitely right in there. Pressure didn't seem to bother him too much, did it?
On that one. Kevin's going to have to throw 3 strikes here, and it's on the lane that's giving him the most trouble. I mean, this is the lane he's been going Brooklyn on, but if he roll it like he does on 5 to me, and not jerk up on it, because you can tell when coming off his hands, it's already lined up right for the pocket. And he's not one. He doesn't throw a straight ball. He hooks it. He likes to see it hook, so he's just going to have to get it out there and trust that it does.
There's another nice shot.
All right. You cannot.
4-7.
All right. Kevin needs all 3 of them.
But what it comes down to is Kevin's got to have 3 to tie. Is that correct?
That's right.
You're going into Brooklyn.
Well, he jerked up.
You're right. Every time he's gotten on that right lane, it's just been a totally different shot, hasn't it?
He's not even throwing it the same.
Still going to shoot a 190 something if he picks this spare up, which is a pretty good game.
No, he missed it. He missed it. 219 to 252 for Don Minnick. So that'll make Don will be going up against Mike Cumbow.
We'll be back with the next match.
And the winner of that match will be taking on our King of the Mountain Empire, who is going to bowl Louis Marshall for King of the Mountain Empire.
Don Minnick Jr. and Mike Cumbow.
All right, there's 6 pins difference in their handicap.
Don's chosen to lead off on the left lane. That means Mike will be finishing first.
Actually, it was Mike's choice. He qualified higher, so he wanted to finish first. And well, Don's starting out like he did last. He just got it through the nose.
Don's had a high league game of 278. And Mike's high league game has been a 279.
That straight ball right down. Covered a spare. He throws the ball straight, but he does it unusual. He pretty much goes straight down the lane at him instead of across the lane. But it's only been bowling a year, so but he's learning the right basics. Well, here's Mike. Mike's changed balls since his first match.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
This is a ball that his wife won the first week whenever she won at Belmont. The ball she won there, and Mike screwed it up. He's used it, switched to it. He said the other ball was sliding too much for him.
Out.
Well, I'm having trouble going through the nose and stuff. I would have thought he would have wanted me. I think the other ball looked better, the way he was rolling it.
This one here looks like it has a little more surface to it.
It's got more surface. Definitely, it's going to hook earlier. Well, that was costly. He should have got 2 of those because that counted as 4.
Yeah, he lost 4 pins because he was on a strike. If he'd have been on a spare, he'd only lost 2.
Sure enough, that was costly, but
See if Don can get back in the groove. He threw several really good shots that last
he
match.
threw some excellent shots.
That might, no. He laid that one down a little early, didn't he?
He got it down early. I believe he had it a little further right. I think it looked to me like he's a little further right on his approach. His footwork is a little further right. Normally you can look at where they set the ball down on right at the head area, right at the foul line and tell, and that looked further right than what he was earlier. Uh-oh, now he's missed all those. It's, he said, Merry Christmas to Mike, Christmas gift. Mike give him a big Christmas gift when he missed all those on that strike. So
yeah, they're cutting up over there. They both work together. They both work for UPS, so this is a friendly rivalry we have today in this match.
Okay. Well, Don's...
It's big brown bragging rights for the next week.
Don had a 6-pin advantage with handicap, but now he's got a 8-pin advantage in the score. So he's gained 2 pins. Where if Mike could have got those, he would have actually been 2 pins ahead. All right, Don come back with a solid shot to the pocket.
Yeah, he rebounded nicely after that last errant shot on lane 6. Let's see what Mike's going to do here. He's on a strike. Oh, I'm sorry, he's on open.
Trying to move, set it down. See, that ball's grabbing so much as he sets it down. It don't slide any at all for him. He doesn't have a lot of side turn on the ball anywhere, or what we would actually call axis tilt. And
he's got much more forward roll than most of the other guys he's been bowling.
And that ball, the way he's got it drilled, is probably set to do that. And
well, if he doesn't get lined up pretty soon, well, there he goes. I was just going to say he might want to change his other ball.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he grabbed it.
I think that's a wise decision on his part.
And that's one of the important things when you're bowling competitively. You have to know when to make the changes. If you
look at that, see there, just as solid as you could throw it.
Now, see, if he'd have waited another 1 or 2 frames to change equipment, it might have just been just enough for him to lose this match. And that's what you have to do. You have to know your game and know when to make the adjustments with either equipment or a move of some sort. Because if you wait 1 frame too long, it could be just enough to knock you out of a win.
Well, there's a good one, I believe. Oh, well, it took off. That one,
Good result.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Well, looks like.
That was similar to the last one he threw on that one.
Well, that ball speed was over a mile per hour slower than what he threw one previously.
Yeah, and that gave it just enough time to get across the head pin.
Yeah, that was down below the 14 mile per hour mark, and
threw a really good shot on this pair last time.
well, there's another Brooklyn. See that one's up close to 16, so he has a tendency to pull it a lot, I believe. I mean, it's first round of match play, he threw about 4 Brooklyns in it, I believe. So
Today may just be his day.
it might be his day.
There's a lot of skill involved, but there's a large degree of luck in this game too.
Yeah. You make a bad shot, hope you make it bad enough that it goes all the way to the Brooklyn, and instead of through the nose and you get it over there, you've got a chance of striking.
Right.
Got a much better chance of striking hitting there than you do throwing it right through the nose.
See if he gets this one out and gets a good roll on it. No. It must be that lane number 6, because in the last match, Lisenby was doing the same thing. When he got on that right side, it was going wasn't giving it room. Looks like he's thrown a couple shots like that too.
He's trying to go a little bit right with it, but he's not giving it any room at all, though.
Now he threw that one.
See, he threw that one. It's like he's afraid to trust the ball out there. I mean, Don is. He's staying outside, staying out there and getting the ball to the right and trusting it. And then that's what he didn't do the first couple of frames that other match. But once he moved out there and trusted it, he started getting a much better reaction. He had that ball down right on the foul line. I heard it actually hit the foul line, so it caused him.
He raised up too, didn't stay down when he released the ball, and that caused him to go over that way too.
Yeah. Well, when you get it down real short like that, it's definitely going to hook earlier.
See, he rolled that one well.
Got it.
Okay, he lost a bunch of pins there because that 4 count was on a spare.
Yeah, that was. Boy, Don could take a huge lead if he throws this strike.
He sure can. Another Brooklyn.
He got it way outside early and got another Brooklyn. That's 3 in a row.
I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Don't fix it. He's not going to try to move in any on the oil.
There's so many variables in bowling. You know, you have your approach, you have your arm swing, you have your release. Of course, all that's for your timing. How you get the ball out on the lane. And any one of those things is not right. You know, it's going to make the shot tough.
Yeah, well, he's only been bowling for a year, so, you know, there's a
He
lot
has really
of
good fundamentals for just bowling that long, you know.
And hasn't experienced a lot of stuff to know how to make the adjustments. Well, he just tried. See, all he's trying to do to keep it from going Brooklyn looked like was throw it further right, and instead of moving in on some oil. It still gives him, you know, depending on what he does here, but
it hurt him because he was on that 4-bagger.
He was on a 4-bagger, but he's got a 30-something.
Yeah, spare.
30. Still got a 30-some pin lead. Even if he throws this one in the gutter, he's going to have a 30-some pin lead. But I don't look for this one to go in the gutter. Got the 8.
Got the 8 count. Yeah, the tendency after you channel one like that is usually come back a little high. A lot of people, you'll see them overcompensate, come in a little heavy on the head pin after throwing a shot like that.
Looks like he's got about a 31 pin lead right now. See, there was probably 6 boards difference in where those two balls, his last 2 shots on that lane was at the arrows. I mean, a while ago, his last shot that he went high, he was, you know, right around the 3rd arrow with it, and that one was outside the 2nd arrow. Big variance. You got to be a lot closer now. He needed to get the ball right, but not that far right. Okay, he covered the spare.
We'll see what he does over here on lane 5 this time.
When you're going high, all it is a board or so adjustment. 2 maybe at the most, and I don't know whether he moved on the approach or he just moved his eyes and tried to throw it further out on the lane. See, done the same thing. The ball looked like it was left to the 3rd arrow.
Very unusual to see that leave twice in one game, isn't it?
He hit basically the same place. He got a 4-pin count a while ago, 5-pin count on that, and it just
well, he rolled that one good.
A lot better, and it was right in the pocket. That's where it's just where he needs to be rolling it. All right, see what Don does
30.
here after. He's 36 pins ahead.
The last couple he's thrown over here, he set him down early and went Brooklyn. Let's see what this one does.
Got that Brooklyn.
He's throwing consistently in the same place anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at where the ball is at 30 feet, and 30 feet down the lane, he's out around the 5 and the 6 board.
And what I would do if I were bowling now, I'd try and get lined up.
Use
the spare.
Use a spare, exactly, because this is a strike ball spare.
And he can make an adjustment now without having to have a full rack there. It would be a lot easier to try and get lined up a little
almost
better.
like having a free practice shot. No, he's just pulled that one. What he really needs to do is move his speed about 5 boards to the left and his target a couple boards left, and try not to get the ball out as hard.
He doesn't burn it out that wide that early down.
Yeah, but like that's just
more like down at 40 feet instead of 30 feet.
Yeah, inexperience. And,
like you were saying earlier, for just being bowling a year, he's doing pretty well.
Tried to throw that one a little harder, I think. He's got another Brooklyn. I don't know what his count is on Brooklyns today, but
got him on TV.
He's got him to the TV show.
Now he rolled
that one good. And it carried.
He came in high, but he
tripped the 4 and the 10 and
yep.
stuff. 25 pin difference in this match.
That was his best. Well, no, the first shot he threw when he changed balls was probably his best one. But that one there was just a hair high, but it was definitely one of his better shots this match. He needs one here. He rolled another nice shot.
Roll a good ball. Really good ball.
Oh.
I mean, he had good roll, everything.
Yeah, that was an excellent shot.
Ripped the 5 right out of there. Just didn't have that lucky break to carry the 7.
Yeah,
About all these bowlers that we have right now, these average, what we call house bowlers, they're not used to going to the different bowling centers, and they may go to one tournament a year when they go to the state or something. So they don't. They're gaining a lot of experience in how to adjust to different lanes.
Well, it's pretty much in the
It's over
books
with
now.
because he's got a strike up there. He's got 186 right now, and Mike finished with a 179.
What I would do if I were he, I would try and find a line there because
Looks like he's moved over on the approach. He has. See there?
Yep.
That was the shot.
That was a great adjustment right there.
It looked like where he was standing. I thought he had moved over some.
And see, he could afford to do that without any damage because he already had the match won. Now, what he should try and do is duplicate that and see if he can throw the same shot again.
Got that in way out, but he was standing further left. He just accidentally, I think threw that one a little further right, and he meant to. I'm going to put him in the 230s. I think he stays right there. Make shots like that because he's string. He'd have a string. There was 4 when he started striking, even though there were Brooklyns. But the last match, when he got to hit in the pocket, he hit it consistent.
He did.
So Louis is going to have his hands full.
Wow.
236. 3 and a flush.
That was a nice finish
All right,
there.
Don Minnick's the winner. He's going to be bowling Louis Marshall. We'll be right back with that match in just a moment, folks. He wanted to finish first. He's the defending champion, so it was his choice. Don's going to start the match. There's 3 pins difference in their handicap.
Yeah, Louis rolling with 40 pins, and Don Minnick Jr. is rolling with 37. We got a lefty versus a righty. Well, not really the ideal way to want to start out, but I think he had a couple of bad shots last game and
Tell you what,
figured it out.
he started out with 2 splits. The last game ended up with 252. I believe if you'd ask him, he'd say, give me the 252 and I'll set it out, you know. Kind of like at the car race last night. They said they asked guys if they would take 15th and set out, and they said no, but if they give them a top 10, they would set it out.
All right, here comes Louis. He's our reigning king of the Mountain Empire. He won over Johnson City last week, and he's told me he's rolling with a different ball today. Looks like Grandma's teeth back there a little bit.
I'll tell you what.
That's a tough one. You don't see 3 in the
3 on the back row.
often.
You got 1. 2-pin match now.
He threw a few practice shots, but I was back there running my mouth. I didn't really see how he did during warm-ups. Did he seem to have a pretty good shot?
He was going high, but he never seemed to move in. I didn't see him move in. He just keeps throwing it out on the outside. He throws it on that outside edge.
I'm not absolutely positive, but I think he's rolling a non-reactive ball. I think it's just a conventional urethane, old ebonite gyro.
I didn't look at it when I was down there.
Resin in it.
And he covers the spare.
For those of you that are not really familiar with bowling, there's several kinds of surfaces on the bowling balls. Most of them are made out of urethane, but some of them have a resin incorporated into the cover stock that helps the ball, gives it more surface friction where it will grab the lanes more. And then they have the hard polyester balls, which have a hard surface, which don't have as much of a coefficient of friction.
Got one through the nose. Still look like he's getting that ball out around the 5 board down there, 35 feet, 35 feet, and it's just going to take off. It don't matter where you stand on the approach. He can move over there and stand against a ball return. If he still gets it out to the 5 board at the 35 foot mark, it's going to hook through the nose for him, more than likely. Straight down. That's tough to cover that spare when you play it straight down.
Yep. When you have those ones on the corner, you enhance your probability of making it if you'll go more diagonally and cut the lane in half instead of rolling directly at it.
Yep.
See what he does over here. See if he adjusts from that 4-6 he left his first frame.
A while ago when he made those moves there in the 9/10, the ball wasn't getting out that far. And whether he's drifting back to the right or what, I don't know.
Wow. He's snake bit right now. Fortunately, Louis doesn't seem to be too well lined up. It's going to be a question, I guess, which one gets lined up and makes the adjustment sooner, because basically they're bowling even. It's just 3 pins difference.
He may have to end up moving right and getting that ball back on the Brooklyn side where he was carrying all of those. All right.
That's 3 9s in a row. He's going to have to change that or he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that's one thing bowlers will say. They move their feet, and they may move their target, but they don't watch that break point down the lane, and you've got to move that part in also if you're moving in. That's Willie made a good shot there.
Yeah, that was a nice lick. Both of these guys bowl in Bristol, and I was telling Willie Harrison we're going to have to do something about that. This is the 3rd week in a row we're going to have a winner from over there. We're going to have to get everybody on the ball and see if we can do something about that.
It looked like he got a little further outside with that one. It come back.
See, he's going cross lane. I think that looks like a pretty good shot.
And he covered the spare.
Instead of walking down directly in front of the pins, he went diagonally across, and that's the proper way to shoot those spares when you're going cross lane. Now let's see if Don can get lined up here. He's struggled these first 3 frames. And he threw a bunch of strikes up to this point. Let's see if he gets the string going.
Closer.
Yeah, break point was considerably further down that time, wasn't it?
He almost looks like he stands exactly the same place, dead center of the lane, and just he goes a little bit across the lane. He just tries to change his shoulder alignment when he shoots the spares, and that's tough to do.
Yeah, and when he opens up just a little bit too much, that's because that wing ball going the channel.
Well, on his spares, he's standing in the same place and looking further left, so he's got to close his shoulder to pull the ball across the 7-pin. He stands exactly the same place to shoot the 6 and the 10. So then he has to open his shoulders up to make the ball go to the right. He has to walk to the right and walk to the left, and he's trying to do it from the same spot.
That looks pretty good.
All right, he tripped to 4.
He started out with 4 opens, but believe it or not, he's not completely out of the match.
Okay, well, he got it out. Just that little bit of a weak 7, but the way he's shooting his spares, I don't believe it's bothering much.
Yeah, that's 2 pretty good shots in a row he's thrown on lane 6. Seems to be having his trouble over on the other lane. Pick this one up and see what kind of adjustment he can make over on lane 5.
Well, missed it. Needs to increase that angle shooting that. It's hard to just play those last 10 boards and get that down there and keep it from hooking by it and hold it out there. You got to get over and play that over the center part of the lane. Take all the hook out of it.
That looks pretty good. Just a little light. That's his best shot by far on lane 5 this match. Just a hair light, but at least he's around the pocket now. Yeah,
He threw that ball at 1590. The last time on that lane, he was at barely was over 14 miles an hour. A lot more speed on it. Throws that slow big hook. He was down the low 14s with the spare shot.
When he let that one go, I don't even think he expected it to come back. It just barely clipped the.
I don't understand bowlers trying to throw real slow and hook the ball way across the lane at these spares instead of just either throwing the same speed as they throw their strike ball or try to throw it a little firmer and go straight at them.
I have a theory on that. I think, yeah.
Oh, Don's got that one way out, but it rolled up.
My theory on what you were talking about on the spares is Now this is for a league bowler, not the advanced bowlers, but if you see one pin up there instead of 10 pins, you're going to think subconsciously, well, I don't have to roll the balls hard. But actually, you really want a little more speed on your spare balls than you do on your initial shot. You watch those pros on TV, they'll shoot those single pins.
We're down to about a 14-pin match. He strikes on this ball. We got about 4 pins. He got that in way. Oh, he got that. He tried to throw it further right. Maybe a while ago when said he was having trouble holding on. Ball was slipping off his hand.
Would help him tremendously if he could cover this spare.
He's back to the Brooklyn, but that one didn't carry for him. Oh, that's give Louis.
Some pin deficit now, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's down over 30 pins now. Yeah, if Louis does anything this frame. See that one good?
That's what you want to do.
That one knocked that 7 right out of there.
You see your opponent have a little bit of problem. If you want to put the pressure on him, just come back and throw a shot like that. It'll sure do it. And if you want to put even more pressure on, throw 2 of them like that.
Throw 2 of them like that. That'll do it. I think he firmed up a little bit. That one looks like that was probably up just a little bit over 15, and the other one was almost 15. So he was real consistent on his ball speed on those 2 shots. Well,
It hit that early break point, but
it got it, but that's why he was rolling it, you know. Just that little slip, letting it go off in the gutter. If he'd have had that strike in that frame, we'd have had a real match going. Yeah, we sure would have.
Yeah, he lost a bunch of pins. He lost about 2 marks there throwing that gutter ball in that double.
Yeah, we'd only had a 4-pin. We'd been 4 pins difference in him if didn't let that one slip off there on him. Well, Louis definitely in the driver's seat right now. He's got a 40-some pin lead, 46 to be exact.
This is just about a must-strike situation.
And he struck.
Well, that's a good way to answer the call. Throw a double of your own.
So that took it to 36, just depending on what Louis does on this one.
Yeah,
He got it.
he got lined up just in time. What you got to try and remember is you're not really rolling against your opponent. You're bowling the pins. And you want to do what you can to maximize your score, knock down as many as you can, because you don't have any control over your opponent.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that one got close.
Yeah, that one just about went in the channel.
He almost had, he had a couple last week that almost went in there. That's all he needed right there. That sealed the win for
That's
him.
what I was getting ready to say. I don't even think he has to pick the spare.
No, he's got 220 no matter what he did. Gives him 222, and the most Don can get out with is 210.
Well, this is our first return champ.
Yep, repeat winner. And he's going back to the next time he'll defend is at the house he bowls in all the time. So
You reckon a 2-week rest after just bowling one game will have him charged up pretty good?
might do it. All right.
This is a good experience for these guys. It's a whole lot of fun. And any of you that have a league average that would like to come out and try your hand at it, you're more than welcome to come to any one of the bowling centers and qualify during the next couple of weeks. You got 2 weeks to qualify this time.
Yeah. And if you've got a league average from last season, 36 games or more, I come out and try to qualify.
Well, I think Uncle Tommy and Mama will be pretty proud of him. He come in runner-up out of 30 people.
That we had
be ashamed of.
just here this morning, and that ain't all the ones. There was a total of right at 50 that tried to qualify for the event. All right. He finishes with a 186 to Louis' 222. So, folks, that means that Louis will be our defending champion when we go to Belmont next time.
We'll be back with the presentations here shortly.